I'd like to talk to you now of something that's really part of me, the ADHD, stemming into AADD, which is Adult Attention Deficit Disorder. This, I found, was my main root, what actually affected me the most. It's diagnosed improperly. It's been misunderstood, mistreated. Some would say, well, you know, your problems, you're just lazy. Your problems is this, your problem is that. Now, one thing, this contributed into my self-esteem issues. It contributed into my depression issues. It contributed into all the issues, my anger issues, because of the misdiagnosis and because of the beliefs that people have saying, well, they're just a problem child, they're just lazy, they're just, you know, and so it got a misrep. As I worked my education on this, as I got my education, did the research on the various things that we've gone over all through, and I found that the exercises that we have learned right from the point of centering ourselves and the chemical imbalances and aligning ourselves to various exercises that we learned in CBT helped me tremendously. I still have the AADD disorder, but I can cope with it a lot better. It still takes me maybe instead now of twice as long to do something. It might take me the time and a quarter to do something, because yes, my mind still runs off in various directions. And this isn't because my IQ is low. Actually, it was the opposite. My IQ is high. I think of everything. I think outside the box. I think of everything. I see everything. I'm alert and well, and just my mind wanders off. I have a hard time focusing. And as I stated, as I practice my focus exercises, as I practice my stress ball, my EFTs, all of these are contributing help to my disorder of AADD. Again, like I said, it's not because my IQ is low, it's because it's the opposite. My IQ is high. I give you now, following the understanding of ADD, ADHD, AADD, the understanding so that you will know, and hopefully as therapists and psychologists study more into this disorder, they understand it even better. The education on it for myself has been tremendous. That's where I stated right off at the beginning, education, education, education. It was hard for me. It was very hard for me to do this project. It took longer than I wanted it to. It aggravated the dog dirt out of me. It just, you know, it gave me trust issues because I didn't know who to turn to. My mind's off. Well, I got to turn here, I got to turn there, I got to do this, I got to do that. And when things didn't come together, my ADD's often why, this, where, instead of focusing on the project and getting it done. Now that I'm closer to the end, you can see how this has helped me tremendously. All right. I may be carrying on in this, but then again, this is when I'm stating that this subject is very dear to me because it is me. All right. It is me in the depressions. It is me in the addictions, because I didn't understand, or I understood but didn't care. Right? So it affects the way I speak to people, because my mind, I want to tell you about this, I want to tell you about that, I want to tell you about everything all at one time, and I can't do that. That'll get jumbled up in my head. And this is what it's like with people with ADHD. Their mind is so off, and then there are times where the mind will kind of shut down, and it looks like we're just staring off into blue space. In part we are, because our mind is on something else now. All right? What you're telling me may be exciting, may be something I need to know. But because my mind travels so fast and so high, and I'm thinking of other things, some of what you're telling me I'm comprehending, I'm catching, it's getting in. And there again, some of what you're telling me is just going in one ear and out the other ear. It's not because I'm stupid. It's not because I don't care. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm a problem child. It's because my mind is in overdrive constantly. I've slowed it down. I've learned how to slow it down through my focusing exercises. I still have a ways to go with it. Will it be done by the time my days are over? I don't know. But I do notice the improvement, which has given me the encouragement, and all again in part to say this program works, people. And on the exercises I have with God involvement, they help me tremendously also. Okay, so it's the exercises, the education, the exercises, the education, knowing what to look for, knowing my stress points, knowing what I'm trying to avoid, knowing what I'm trying to learn, what I'm trying to do, focusing it, bringing it together. Take a deep breath and go at it again. So now to follow out, that's why I have this exercise at the end, towards the end. We get into addictions after this, and that's pretty much a group therapy thing and a one-on-one with your counselor thing. But it all works. All right? This is why I became an alcoholic, how I became an alcoholic. I know now why and what caused my alcoholism. Right? Yes, to give up family secrets, it runs in the family. However, by changing mind and by changing body chemistry, I no longer have an alcoholic problem. I still consider myself an alcoholic. However, it's not as bad, not as intense. I'll always consider myself, because there's always that chance of falling off the wagon, so to speak. So I hope my program anyway has helped everybody in their disorders. And even with the PTSDs and the EMDRs that we talked about, that I don't have any real experience in, so I can't give you that full thing, which works. It's an amazing program. So if you're just you have PTSDs, look into it. Find somebody who is certified to present you and work with you in that program. I know I'm jumping around, but this is again how my mind works. And I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to let this part go as is. Excuse me. So Where was I? There again, see, 6 different directions, but I've got to look at it. This is how I have to look at it. I have to look at it like, okay, I can do that. Just bring myself back on track. I know it's aggravating for some of you, and this is where you have to educate yourself about people with ADD, ADHD, is that their minds are off in different directions. You can help them refocus, come back in track positively. You can't yell at them, because all you're going to do is just lose them. That's the same thing with a person with addictions. You end up being the enabler rather than the helper. You get on their case about, don't do this, don't do that, you can't do this, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't be a crackhead. All you're doing is pushing them in, because you're telling them what they can't do. They know what they can't do. We need the help to get away from it. We need the understanding. We need the backing. Okay? So, as you have gone over your disorders, or learning about how to help people with various disorders, you can become more empathetic, more sympathetic in helping them and understanding. Education, again, is the key. Educate, educate, educate. Lead, guide, more than really lead. Guide them along. Keep them on track. All right? Let them know things are okay. People with disorders have major trust issues. Part of what gave them might have led to their disorder in the first place. They don't trust going down the streets of Bosnia anymore. They don't trust going into the trade center anymore. They don't trust people, individuals, because of what has happened in their past, their traumas in the past. Major trust issues. They've had people try to help them, which their intentions may have been good, but they dropped the ball in the long run and left the person with the disorder just hanging. So they get that trust issue of, what good is it? And that goes into the depressions, and goes into, and you can see now also how all of these disorders fit together. How working on all of these disorders, if not individually or in the sequence that I had posted, then at least simultaneously working on them. One affects the other. And with me and ADD, this is what has occurred. Again, I can say, if I put it on the scale of 1 to 100%, I can say I'm 95% cured, which is good odds, right? Which is really great. I can now accomplish this and get it done and present it to you, and hopefully helping you in your disorders. If this will be the last time, then thank you for being part of my program. God bless.